Good morning, everybody. Oh. So, news this morning, I guess there weren't enough people going for jobless claims. Market sold off a bit, nothing significant. We got a turnaround day yesterday. So, as always, we have to go through our thought process or factory work. So, is it the low yet? I don't think so, but just looking at these S&Ps here, momentum has slowed. And remember, we look at momentum not through indicators, but just look at the speed at which prices move. And then as they begin to make a turn, as they did here, of course, we always take notice how deep do they rally against the prior decline, or vice versa if it's going in an uptrend. Then as it makes the next turn, what's the distance between the lows? Now, it's yet to be seen whether this can take out today's high, yesterday's high today. If things sell off, there was an impressive rally yesterday afternoon, and what obviously would cause the reversal day. Now, the really odd thing that happened yesterday out of the blue, and I mentioned it in the room because at first I thought, oh, that's a mistake, because markets were going up. They were. And I checked on the CBOE site and the data is correct. So yesterday afternoon, shortly after 2:00, I don't know why, we can't tell who's buying them, how many institutions are buying them or traders. The put call ratio soared above 1.5 and my alarm went off. And historically, when that happens, the markets are going down. And it signals a short-term low, often intraday, and depending on where things are at and what our other internal gauges, it could be a short-term low in the markets. And you can see as it was going up here, the NYSE tick, as it goes up, there's high tick readings above 1,000 on the way up. And so short-term basis, that's of course a positive. You want to have high tick readings, especially as it begins to, move off of a pullback. And then, the tick readings got high again, and then we see momentum begin to slow in the end of the day. But this really high put call ratio is unusual. We haven't seen one of these in a very, very long time. So now we've got, and to add a little, unusualness to what's going on, one of the things that you'll notice here is that, hold on a second. See these bands? They're starting to roll lower, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. See over here how they were going up? That's a bullish market environment. So now they're beginning to roll over. There are more and more institutions, traders, right? Bearish sentiment. It makes sense, after this correction so far. And historically, what happens, this could bounce from here. Like we're going to see where today ends up, right? But as these things begin to roll over, what happens is bearish market. This usually the extreme now will be at around 1.4 or so. It's been years since this has been the case. So with sentiment down here and breadth where it is, I'm speculating whether this could actually be a turning point. Well, again, we'll see where this ends the day. Get rid of these lines. It's this little down move that's happening here. Does it come back down? Does it chop around a few days? We'll just have to see what it's going to do. Some things are down a decent amount already. So, you would suspect like the transports would begin to stabilize. Did we have a lecture yesterday? Yes, we did. But there was a glitch in the software to put it online. But if you are on our email list, you have the recording in your inbox. If you are not on our email list, you can do so at this link. When Dan starts talking, I'll put the link in, but that's how you can get them automatically. All right. So slowing momentum, it is at the 200. We'll look at the futures. The futures push down through the 200. It's on some support. And we'll see if this does bounce or not. Right now, things are just hanging down here, doing nothing. All right. We'll get to SPX here. Those are yesterday's numbers. Nothing was touched. 4,300, 4,305. So this seems to be the, let me just look over here again. Since it's going down, you have to do 4,300. And let me just see how much the gap down is. Not much. And just based on that put call ratio, I'm not thinking the call side. And this here is 41. Let's check again. 41.90. And there's these relatively close distances, nothing's been touched, so, it's gapping down a little bit. I think the put side, just based on these put call ratios, is going to be the safer of the two. Whether it can get up here today after being down a little bit, probably not. Probably not. Again, average range has been about the same, about 45 points, give or take. So, and I think the risk is the higher risk on the upside at this point as things are stabilizing. But let's look at other markets, the futures market, see where they're at. All right, so you see the slowing momentum, a little bit of a gap down here today. And this isn't a fantastic pattern to look at and say, hey, this is at a point where, let's say everything else was aligned properly, it's going to go straight up from here. You've got the congestion area right above. So I'll just put that in a little bit. You got kind of a mess going on over here. So, the weekly, we'll see where this closes at the end of the day tomorrow, give or take. So I wouldn't even be thinking really a possible turn other than the fact of that put call ratio. And maybe it's some weird happened, but as I said, the CBOE site confirmed the numbers, even for the equity put call ratio. What we're looking at here is the total put call ratio, but the equity put call ratio confirmed a very high reading as well. Whereas if it was just one, I would say, I'm assuming something's out of whack. Tech did well yesterday, nice rally deep into the red bar. Sort of a W, kind of a bottom. I wouldn't necessarily call this climactic because it was the first move down from a consolidation. So it's an odd pattern here. So we'll assess it. You see things are down a bit, not really all that much. Excuse me. The Dow is Dow futures. That's why you got this lack of data over here, but that's even less attractive. With the Dow, here's the regular Dow. I think it's one of the only indices. Let's just see, where's the beginning of the year? Right around here. It's just dangling on, going negative for the year, give or take, right? So there's the third. I'm not on the opening price, but you can see where prices are. So, many things that did well, we covered that yesterday in MT Live, are still up very nicely on the year, where the Dow was marginally negative. Is something being ignored? No impact for interest rates yet? I don't know, Jose. I mean, I think you have to be living in a bunker, or well, you don't give a darn about the markets. You don't need money. You're not gonna, looking to buy a home. You don't turn the news on at night. Um, so as far as ignoring interest rates, it really depends on what your focus is. But um, you can see the way this has been advancing. It's become a little extended as it's moved up. We looked at this in MT Live yesterday, and the estimate is, just we look to the left, appears a whole bunch of congestion, and you can see, a little above 5%, give or take, would be the destination where they would likely top out. One of my comments, and you'll those of you on social media, if sorry we didn't get the thing going here, but I think everybody's not struggling and trying to figure out, why are interest rates going up like this? And so, while there are many things that are pointing toward, hey, even if the government doesn't say we're in a recession yet, there are clues there that I believe that we are. Now, the other thing that came to mind yesterday was everybody wants this over with. It's like, let's get to it. Yeah, it's a recession. Let's just slow this economy down. Let's make people start collecting unemployment. People start getting fired. Businesses are hurting, blah, blah, blah. And this inflation comes down. So why are interest rates going up? Well, interest rates go up because a few things. There's a demand for money. Well, if things are so bad, why is there a demand for money? So that's in question. It's like the economy is expanding. People are buying computers. They're buying cars for their fleets. They're buying this, there, and that. So interest rates go up. There's a demand for money. Well, I don't think that's the case. Their inflation is high, or it's increasing, so rates go up. And I need more interest on what I'm going to lend you because inflation is high. Well, if we believe numbers, inflation is coming down. So why are interest rates rising in such a way so fast? So I don't know. Other than, so yesterday I thought, hey, maybe the bond market's at a point where it's like, you know what, let's just get this over with and crush things here and sell the crap out of bonds and push these interest rates up where nobody's going to, the economy is slowing. No one's going to want to borrow money. All the numbers start coming in that support the Fed saying, hey, I think we're done. So that's a speculation. Why are interest rates going up like this? With a trend like that, you don't want to bet against. They're not going to continue to go up, and they're not at resistance yet. So, all right. Transports are already down a lot. They're poking around here around the 200 MA. So maybe they begin to stabilize. Airlines have been destroyed with crude oil going up. And you would think, why are nobody buying airline tickets? I don't know. People still traveling. Somebody who's a pilot or a stewardess, or the plane's still full, or things slowing down. So crude oil, let's see, had a little mini crash yesterday. So is this suggesting that things are, confirmation of things going to slow down? So we're looking for reading these tea leaves here to say technically, while this could be considered bearish, right? While it's going up, it's bearish, right? Inflation. But now, there's no demand for oil. So we're in this environment where it's kind of like been day to day, meaning some economic report comes out and the market has a positive reaction, and another one comes out and it's a negative reaction. It's not a pleasant situation right now. And all of a sudden things that are trending like this was. And how do I know it's trending so strongly? Besides just going up, the size of the bars, they retrace very little into the others. There's no pivots over here. Bars are about the same size. Then all of a sudden, well, you see how it reached resistance here. It's like the herd all of a sudden just says, hey, it's time to get out. And they all press the button at the same time. Anyway, the Russell is down at the bottom of the range. I'm going to look at so maybe this is ready to start to bottom out itself. So as we go into next week, getting past, whatever economic report, there's something else tomorrow, we're getting into next week. We'll see if maybe things are going to start to bottom out. We get a counter trend rally, and then, hey, we'll see what October brings. All yours, Dan.
Good morning, everyone. Uh-oh, Greg, I just heard my battery backup go on. Uh-oh. All right, spiders. Yeah, Greg described it. I set into the close yesterday, which we always do at the end of the day, come up with a bias for the next day, because remember we did a market trading the open the other day, and I said, hey, trading the open starts at the afternoon before, which is what's my bias, start building a watch list for the next day. And my bias was over the high, a small bounce, that's all. Qs I like the best. 180 reversal here. So 15 minutes, not bad. So I still have a bullish bias over yesterday's high. Target gap fill, I said, right there at the 20 MA. If things really got in gear, maybe the 50. But that's it. We'll take it day by day. Earnings here, not many. Let's STZ. Small gap down, no pattern. CAG. Now I said yesterday I was hoping for a big gap down on this, and then that could be a short-term exhaustion gap. So I am putting that in a window on my other computer. CAG. Lima whiskey. Wow, that thing just blasted in the last hour here. That's a big gap. Wow, that is what we call a pro gap. This is in a steady downtrend. Now, a pro gap means igniting a new move. Let's see what happens, but that's an excessive gap right there. Stavros, that's going to be crack is going parabolic. I don't remember that symbol. All right, so you're saying that's a Climo. Well, what is crack? Oil refiners. Okay. Yeah. But look at the 15-minute chart, though. That's in a power downtrend. Stravos, a very good rule of thumb that we like to tell people when you're trading power downtrends, Climos like this, is what? Go to an hourly chart and at least wait for the hourly chart to fail to make a lower high. Now, if this 15-minute is not even doing that, then by definition, a higher time frame is not doing it either. So I like your thinking. I'll put it on the list. I have so many Climos in here I've been watching the last few weeks. that are not reversing. Look at RH. I mean, I got 15 of them in here. I was watching this as a potential new low reversal, small little W, but nope, it's just powering lower already. Let's see. Wow, Clorox getting whacked. And this was a Climo. We unfortunately took a half lot on this. We had an open game. We were willing to add over the red bar. And now it comes out and gives an earnings warning. You know what? That's a fact of swing trading, holding overnight. There's no way around it, whether you're trading stock or options. So that's an ugly gap. So we're going to use our, start off with our 30-minute rule. You just got to sit tight. I mean, there's a lot of angst and pain and panic going on right now. They got hacked, which is part of this Climo. And then I think the earnings warning was somewhat related to that. But I'm actually going to watch this as a put spread. I would love the 30-minute high. Love to do a 1 DTE put spread. All right, Dollar Tree, I posted pre-market as a potential. This is what we call a bullish new low reversal. So accelerated lower, made another new low, and momentum slowed. So there's nothing to do right now except observe that fact. And I got a Climo on the weekly. So it's just going on the list to watch. On WDC, I saw up here, it's not earnings, so some type of relative strength news, 30-minute high. I like this as a long watch. You know what? I missed SIBO yesterday. I just missed it. I didn't have an alarm, but this was on my list. What's today? Thursday. This was on my list Tuesday to buy over the high. And look at that beautiful move yesterday, showing relative strength to the market. It did not care about the market weakness. Sergey, yeah, Riven. We actually talked about this being a 180 reversal on MT Live. I think they came out, with some auto numbers or whatever. But that's now. You got two 180s in a row. It's not a bull sandwich because it's gapping under it, but it's ugly. That's ugly. That's a shock pattern. Tesla, yeah, I gave Tesla. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I gave Tesla and Google as day trade longs yesterday. Tesla was superior though, and they were my two favorite fangs for put spreads, Thomas, as you know, because you're in the room here, obviously, and they just didn't have enough juice for me to get to subscribers per month for Friday. Well, Paul, it stopped out. NVIDIA stopped out break even yesterday. But if you're still in it, it expires tomorrow. And I have no problem with sitting through it. But when the market, I'm always tighter on stops when I think we're at a turn spot. And even though this pattern's totally fine, if the market was going to start ripping, I didn't want to turn a winner into a loser. RGP gapping down. This I think was earnings or an earnings warning or whatever. It could very well set up as a day trade long, as a short-term exhaustion gap. I'm going to put that in a window. RGP. Costco came out with same store sales number or something like that. And I would never trade this directionally because it's just too wacky. But if you can get a put spread under this 20 MA over yesterday's high, I like that. In fact, yeah, I already set an alarm, I think. I set an alarm 572 spot 20 already. Car had some earnings release or whatever came out. So there's a shock pattern. There's a shock pattern, failed buy setup. But I would like it better. That support button there. ACAT also, some numbers came out. Possible day trade long. This one had some numbers come out, got whacked. Look at this, talking about whack VFS. This is that Vietnamese EV company in the green trading room. We talked about this Bear Island reversal right there after this Climo, and we were also laughing about. I think my math is right. We looked it up on Yahoo Finance, and it was like worth $180 billion market cap up there at the high. And I don't trade fundamentals, but I hear something like that for a little stupid startup, doesn't make money. I said, this thing's going to come crashing down when reality sets in. And look at that, 90 to 8. But my alarm went off, nothing to do with. I saw this gapping up nicely. Let's see, $4. It really needs to get over $4. And then, maybe it goes to 5. What else? Carvana, it's just grinding lower. GNTX under the week's low. Could be a continuation short. Ever. Yeah, these are a couple Sam gave me. Now this is what we call an end of day rally. So the 15-minute is very extended. I would never buy over the high of that myself. You need a pullback. And ideally we get an inside bar as a 1, 2, 3, and then tomorrow it goes up. ANET, if it can get above the red bar, then it looks good. Visa, it's just, you can see the bulls and bears are just whacking at each other here, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's at the 200 after a Climo. I like that it's gapping down here. Now let me set an alarm 231.50. I already have one at 231.20. So if it can take out yesterday's high, it's a beautiful put spread idea. Look at the weekly near this prior low. Ring bottoming pattern. PCAR, another one. I would love an inside day here, even 2 inside days. And then it's a breakout, daily, weekly, monthly. Look at that. I looked yesterday for put spread and it was either not enough or illiquid or something. Right, and we talked about ugly Hershey, mini Climo. This sector's just gotten killed. I'm not sure why fundamentally. Somebody mentioned this in the green room yesterday as a short, and I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it as a long. I was hoping it would go down, make a new low and reverse, set up a double bottom, new low plus. Exxon garbage. Oh man, look at that fin gapping up now. We've been talking about this for all week long as the relative strength award. Look at that strength overlaid with the broader market. Incredible. All right, Chai's big piece of garbage. And if it breaks out, then it has room. I'll set an alarm 237.60. Yeah, other than that Clorox, I don't have a single alarm going on. That's pretty strange. Expo. Okay, here's another one. Double bottom, new low plus, range expansion reversal. This, I'm going to look right now. This would be a great, yeah, Bitcoin rallying here in the 15. This would be a great one for a 1 DTE put spread. Now I have UNH up alarm. Finally, another alarm. All right, EXPO unfortunately doesn't have weeklies. And the $80 puts are 0 by 3:30. 85 puts, 20 cents by $5. You know, people ask me, oh, well, you know, Dan, what do you mean illiquid option? It means when you can drive a friggin' Mack truck through it. You know what a Mack truck is? All right, look, this is my favorite bullish gapper today. WDC. It's like, what world are you on? 20 cents by $5. Are you kidding me? Just move on and just move on. All right, Clorox. There's no pattern to sell a put on yet. That's an ugly gap, actually. So that is not a good put spread idea. I changed my mind. All right, UNH alarm. I've been watching this all week. Ideally, today and tomorrow will be inside days. And then Monday, we buy a breakout. You know, I always like to give the ideal scenario. But, you know, market doesn't care about me. All right, CAG is ripping here on this earnings gap down. I said it was a put spread idea pre-market as a short-term exhaustion. I'm not chasing it as a day trade. If it will stop right here and then give us an inside bar, upper third, then maybe I'll consider a day trade 30-minute high. All right, 25 puts are bid 0, so there's nothing there. Greg, XLB up alarm. Do you like my 1/3 out now, Greg, at 127.05? I would say yes, sir. So yeah, that's ready to bounce. My up alarm went off. So if somebody wants to look at the components of XLV, I guarantee you we should be able to find a day trade and or swing trade with this sector moving like it's doing. So Greg, I have the stop over the WRB, but you tell me if you want anything different. All right, Visa, nothing to do, but up alarm just went off. If it closes like this, then tomorrow I will give a put spread over yesterday's high for next week. All right, I got Clorox, RGP. SIBO still new high. Man, we missed that SIBO. That was my best long yesterday. Put Visa on the other computer. I always check the cousin. So there's MA, no pattern at all. Yeah, actually strong daily, weekly, monthly, sure. SIBO was better yesterday, but you know, we missed the entry. Yeah, Bitcoin is moving here. Check the usual suspects. Coin possible put spread, particularly if it's 1 DTE. Mr. Sloppy, Riot, Mara, nothing. MU, day trade.